You know, I just heard on our favorite cable channel question posed to Congressman Stephen King of Iowa. Well, what are we going to do with these kids who are here? We need to feed them. We need to house them. We need to clothe them. I mean, the Republicans are going to vote against this $3.7 billion supplemental emergency funding bill, by the way of which $100 million, if that, goes to securing the border. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Am I the only one in the country, you and me, are we the only ones in the country who saw a big report yesterday that the federal government admits on its own that it misspent over $100 billion? How many occasions can you remember where Obama says, I'm going to give $1 billion to this country, or $500,000 I'm going to spend over here, I'm going to do this, where they scrap together, quote unquote, the money from various agencies and slush funds throughout the federal government to pay for things? Why does he need a new appropriation of $3.7 billion? That amounts to less than 0.1% of the entire federal budget. He can't ask all the federal agencies to chip in less than 0.1% of their budgets in the aggregate to pay for this? No, and he won't. And the reason is he wants profligate spending, whether it's waste, fraud, and abuse. That doesn't much matter to him. But even more than that, he wants to send the signal throughout the world. We're going to subsidize this. I heard one of the guests on the program say, well, if you want to have these administrative law judges and process these people, including the children, and deport them, you need to have money for more administrative law judges. And again, I say, well, where they have plenty of money. They confess. The federal Leviathan itself has confessed that it misspent over $100 billion last year, which means it's much more than that. That's a confession. The reality, I'm sure, is much worse. So take some money out of the federal Leviathan and do it. I can't do that. Find an offset. Can't do that. We want to burden your children and your grandchildren forevermore with more debt. And that question's never asked. And the response is never given. What about the $3.7 billion in these children? And my answer would be, take it out of the federal Leviathan. It blew over $100 billion last year. It's there. Lots of it. And a lot more. That's 0.1%, number one. And number two, yes, what about the children and grandchildren? Our children and grandchildren. How much more? How much more red tape? How much more money are you going to burden them with? That is debt. But who am I? What do I know? Meanwhile, we should do everything possible to subsidize foreigners who illegally come into this country.